So here with Neil Marsh today at the Cunningham-Le Couloir fight. First of 8, you enjoying the fights?
Yeah, good. A couple of competitive ones. So yeah, it's a good night.
So obviously on to Zach Parker now, obviously 5 weeks away from the biggest fight of his career so far. Just a personal question for yourself, which fight would you say out of Zach Parker's fight so far has been the best learning fight for himself?
Definitely Rowan Murdoch. We learnt a lot with the Williams fight because we had to deal with a shoulder injury from round 1, shown out to steel. So, but I actually think that Rowan Murdoch has prepared him for this, which I don't think he got given the credit he deserved for that performance. So yeah, Rowan Murdoch by far.
So obviously onto the fight itself at Pride Park, probably the moment of his career, fighting in front of his own fans. Do you reckon, obviously that'll make an added pressure for himself, do you reckon he'll deal with that alright?
Yeah, it's down to the team, into an experienced team. We've been about, we just, without an experienced team, I'm sure he'd handle it well. He's dying for this opportunity. He's level-headed lad, doesn't let anything phase, so everything's good.
So it's on to his opponent, Demetrius Andrade. No mug at all. It's a tough fight for Zach. Obviously Zach, he's been in not with the same calibre of opponents as maybe Andrade has, but how would you feel, obviously Zach Parker beats Andrade?
I don't want to give too much to pieces, too much tactics away, but he'll catch him and he'll hurt him. At some point he'll get him out of there. I've got absolutely no doubt. We know we've got Andrade down to a T. We've got a couple of slick overseas southpaws coming in. We've got some good UK sparring for him. He'll be completely ready for him, and at some point he'll catch him. I've got no doubt he'll knock him out.
Do you reckon obviously the fight against Morrison, obviously in my opinion he whitewashed Morrison, in my opinion, that went through, steamrolled him. Do you reckon that fight was the correct fight maybe to have before having Demetrius Andrade, because he just kind of steamrolled him?
Yeah, it's getting people to fight, Zach. Since we've been with Frank, because of his inactivity for the last few years, it was important we got him fighting, and every single opponent we brought in was due to give him rounds, and tough kids, and he beat every one of them in similar fashion, if not better. What is the perfect fight for Demetrius Andrade? He's a unique style. The confidence is sky high. So, would you prefer a bigger name than Marcus? Of course you would. But as I say, we don't think Zach's out of second gear. So it's irrelevant to what's going to happen on this night.
Brilliant. So obviously, God willing, Zach gets through in 5 weeks' time, gets through Andrade. Obviously the belts are kind of tied up at super middleweight. What ideally, I know you're not looking past Andrade, but obviously Canelo's obviously fighting at different weights and stuff like that. Ideally, would you like maybe to relinquish them belts and fight for maybe that WBO?
Yeah, you've already said it, that there's no point looking past it too much. Yeah. Very fortunate we've got Frank Warren behind us. Yeah. We will be the interim world champion. If we have to defend the interim world champion, Zach's only going to get better. And if Canelo vacates, we'll fight for a vacant world title. If he fights us, even better. But we're not interested in that at the moment. It's about today, and we've got to get through a real tough testing. Demetrius Andrade.
Yeah, just finally, obviously 5 weeks out, how are the tickets looking? Obviously brilliant that you've obviously every tenner that from every ticket goes back to the club. Obviously, how are the tickets doing?
Yeah, fantastic. I've not checked since week 1, but Zach wasn't known as a ticket seller. Him personally, he'd done a couple of thousand in the first week on his own, and the club's done a lot more than that. You have to be realistic. You're not going to sell 30,000. We set a goal at the beginning of 10. We're well on track. We'll go above that. I expect 12 to 15,000 on the night. So that's without an undercard so far. We've gone well over 5,000. So brilliant, outstanding.
Top man. Cheers for your time, mate. Cheers.